Hey everybody, good morning and welcome into Mid-Morning. I am so excited because Miss Sandra Harpoole and Francis Smith are joining me in studio. And guys, I bet you never believed that you would play a game on our Mid-Morning show, but here we are. So this is a game that seems to be taking West Point by storm, and it's called Mahjong, correct?
Yeah. That's right.
And this is the American version.
Right.
But you guys said there's so many different versions. And first of all, Miss Francis, talk to me about how you got started into this.
I recently moved back to West Point. I retired, and it started out just social to meet women in the area, and I had no idea what it was, anything about it, and I went and I immediately fell in love with the game. And just the competition, it really helps your brain, and just knew that I wanted to learn more about it and play it on a regular basis.
Now, Miss Sandra, talk to me about, you guys had an event at the Mission this weekend. It's kind of a tournament per se, and the money raised went towards the Mission, correct?
That's correct.
So how did the event go this weekend?
It was fabulous. And the event is, Mahjong's not just taking over West Point, it's taking over everywhere.
You guys said y'all had people from Oxford and Memphis?
Yes, and Greenwood, and
Yes, all over.
That is
all over the
amazing.
Golden Triangle. What did we have, 52 players?
About 55.
Wow.
Yeah.
55 players. So, and then we had some of the men from the Mission playing with us, which was great. They were nervous when they came in.
I would be nervous.
Matt played with me, and he was so nice, and he was very, very nervous. But he actually mahjonged, and we were just all clapping.
Super
and so,
excited.
Yeah, so excited for him.
Now, you guys said this is a strategic game, and I want to show you this. I wish you guys could really see the tiles. Is that what we call them? The
they're
tiles.
tiles.
They are beautiful. But talk to me about, all of these have a significant meaning, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you want me to
Francis, go
start?
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, like in cards, we have 4 different suits in cards, but in Mahjong, we have 3 suits.
Okay.
And we have the BAM, and they're bamboo, and they're always going to be green. And bamboo is, how you remember, is they all have a dragon. And so with the bamboos, the one bamboo is always going to be a real pretty bird, and this one happens to be a hummingbird. And then they all have dragons, and the bamboo has a green dragon. You want to talk about the cracks?
And then here are the cracks. And the cracks, to me, are easy to remember because they're a Chinese symbol.
Okay.
And in each one of these, each suit, there are 4 of each numbers.
Okay.
Okay. And then the red dragon, and y'all can see this doesn't
It's a
look
puppy
like
dog.
a dragon. Every set is different, and they're just so beautiful. And for my set, the dragons are King Charles Spaniels.
All right, guys, well, stay with us after the break. We are really playing this when we come back. All right, guys, welcome back into Mid-Morning. So Miss Sandra and Miss Francis, they've kind of got to jump ahead of me because I'm still a little lost with Mahjong. So talk to me about what's going on right now.
Well, each of us has 13 tiles on our hand, and basically the end game is to create one of these lines. And when you create a line and match all these patterns, you have created a mahjong, and then you yell out mahjong.
Okay.
And so what we're doing is we're picking tiles and discarding, and picking tiles and discarding, and we're hoping that we can lay out and our purpose. We're both trying to mahjong and beat each other.
Yes.
Now, typically, would the tiles be laid out like this?
They would not. The first thing you do is you build a wall.
Okay.
And so, because we are playing with 8 jokers and no blanks, which is the correct way to play.
Okay.
Now, we like to play with blanks because it's easier to get pairs. But anyway, you build your wall of 19, and then the dealer is going to roll the dice.
Okay.
And we'll push our wall out and pull back whatever that is. Now, from what I understand, that's to keep you from cheating. And I do not have any idea how to cheat.
Well, I don't know how you can either
In
with this.
Mahjong. But anyway, you push your wall out. Everybody is going to draw 12 tiles.
Okay.
And then I'll draw 1 and 3 if I'm the dealer. That gives me 14. Everybody else will draw an extra one. So everybody starts with 13 tiles.
And you draw from your wall, correct?
Yes.
And then
So-
whenever you draw from your wall, you put it on, would this be a board?
After everybody gets their 13 or 14, you're going to put it down here.
Okay.
Then the next step, which is kind of hard to do, is you do what's called a Charleston.
Okay.
And so,
Not dancing though.
No, not dancing.
It is dancing of the tiles.
Okay.
It is
Yes.
dancing of the tiles.
Dancing of the
so you want to
tiles.
go ahead and explain the Charleston?
Yeah, so the Charleston, the purpose of that is you're dealt a hand and you're saying, I have no idea which hand I'm going for. This does not look like anything. So it's really trying to make sense of chaos and when you've been dealt a hand. And so you kind of put them in order and you put all your suits together and you'll put your ones, you might want to put your flowers over here.
Okay.
And so you organize them and you kind of look at your card and say what hand. And the purpose of the Charleston is you pick 3 tiles that you do not want and you'll pass them to the player to your right.
Gotcha.
And Miss Sandra will pass me 3 tiles.
So it goes around.
Interesting.
And then the second time, you
We'll
go
pass
across.
Okay.
And then the third time, you go around.
And then in that
to
time,
left.
you're trying to get your pairs,
we're
so you
trying-
can say
You're trying,
mahjong.
yes, you
You're
are trying to build your hand.
Yeah.
And so we have our booklet. So the tiles each have a number. Like, is that correct?
Correct.
And then that's how we know if we've got the right number.
Correct.
And this is the one, this is the 2024.
Okay.
The new one Francis has is 2025.
Oh gosh, I haven't even learned
They-
the
I
24.
know. That's the problem. You
That's-
learn one and then you're, oh my goodness.
That's the problem. They come out with a new card
Every year.
Every year.
Well, that is, I am so excited you guys come in. And people can join y'all. Y'all are in West Point. Y'all do
Absolutely.
several events. So I am so excited
Yes.
y'all could come in. Guys, we will be right back after the break. Stay with us here on Mid Morning. All right, guys, we've been talking about mahjong all morning, and we are actually, they are getting ready to play. I'm going to watch, but we've got everything set up. So I guess, how do we start?
Well, we've done the Charleston.
Okay.
We've done the
So
Charleston.
we've
can
swapped.
you can do the Charleston twice, and then you can do what's called a courtesy, and that's with the person across from you.
Okay.
And you don't have to do it. You can do 1, 2, or 3 tiles. So then we're ready to play.
Okay.
So the dealer is going to discard first,
Okay.
and that gets me to 13 tiles like everybody else.
And we would act like these aren't here, correct?
Correct.
In a
Yeah.
regular
Well,
game.
they would have been built as
Okay, they
walls,
would have been
just
built.
like my wall was
Okay,
built.
perfect.
Okay.
So we
So
discarded
you,
one.
And you call it, when you lay it out, you have to call it by its correct name.
For BAM.
Okay, 4 BAM.
Right.
Ooh, okay. So and we have our tile
You have
printout sheet right
this
here.
to tell you.
And
Okay.
then I say pause, and I say, I need that, and I'll take that. And so if I take it, I have to expose it and lay it out. So I'm committed now to a pair, and you can see I have a joker right in the middle. Jokers are our wild tiles, and everybody loves the jokers.
Oh.
Yes.
Because if
yes.
you lay down 3 or more, you can put as many jokers in that pattern as you want.
Oh,
And so
okay.
So
I
they
need-
can actually be 4. If you need 4 or of a kind or 5 of a kind, you can make that joker whatever you want it to be.
Interesting. Okay.
So I have picked that tile up, and now I have to discard. And I'm going to discard soap.
okay.
And this is also the white dragon. And it's also a 0.
Yeah. Okay. So those are no good then.
No,
Or
no,
does
they
it-
are
They're
good.
very good.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just,
They're
I'm
very
just
good.
saying they can be more than one thing.
Oh, okay. So
They're
it's like
the-
an ace, sort
They're
of.
the only dragon that
Okay.
can be. Okay, now I'm going to draw and decide, and I always rack my tile.
Okay.
And I'll decide if I want that, if that fits in with anything that I want. And so I'm going to now have to discard.
Okay.
And I'm going to discard a 5 crack.
Okay. And I see we're moving our tiles. Are we allowed to move them on your
On your
end
rack.
anyway?
On
Okay.
your rack.
So is that just to help kind of a visual for you to know what you have?
Right.
And then once we've
Yes.
displayed them on our board, do they have to stay displayed the whole
They
time?
have to, and so that is part of my mahjong. And as you see on your hand,
We have this
we've
already.
already created a mahjong for
Oh,
you.
okay, y'all. We did this beforehand. Mine, I don't know if I can show y'all maybe a little bit. So this would be mahjong.
That's
if I got
mahjong.
this, I could say mahjong.
Yes, and this is the first line under any like numbers.
Okay.
See,
And that's our guideline there.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that's our
You have to
guideline.
make-
These are our tile names.
yes.
I'm getting it, girls.
Everybody has to have a card to play. And
Okay.
once you have a card, you're welcome to go to anybody's home or a club or anywhere and go and play with 3 or more ladies.
Now, how long would you say a game typically lasts?
Well, with beginners, it's going to last longer because
Okay.
people have to think
Okay.
about, look at their hand, and sometimes you'll have to change hands.
Yeah, I'm not very good with numbers, so this is in my head throwing me off a little bit.
It starts out, when people start out, I tell them to give themselves about 50 minutes per game for one round. And once you're a seasoned player and you kind of have learned the card a little bit, you can play really quick and you just know what you're looking for, and it takes about 15 or 20 minutes to play a game.
Well, we played 4 rounds.
4 rounds
in an hour and a half, right?
And then I asked, where did we get this? So I'm assuming Amazon, but you can get them here locally too.
Yes, in fact, that's where I got my mat at Lighting Unlimited.
Which is
uncommon.
I would not have thought of that.
Uncommon Living. Well, Chase Pridmore Hazard decided she really wanted to play. And so she got interested, and my Mahjong, I think, probably has the most beautiful sets.
It is so it is so springy. Now, at the tournament, like you guys had this weekend, does only one person bring a board per se, or I guess one person per table?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're considered East player, and if you're East, you stay at the table. You kind of set the rules, and you don't set the rules are already set, but you make sure everybody's playing, following the rules.
Right.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. So with the hands right now, so we've already discarded some, we have some displayed. Then what's next for it? We just keep doing the same.
We keep drawing
and discarding.
And then we'll say flower.
Yes. And then
I'm getting it,
And
girls.
when you're drawing, your goal is to try and match up something that you have.
You know, I'll say, I feel like
Green
this game
Dragon.
could be easier for me. Personally, I'm terrible at cards. Like, do not take me to a card table. I'm not good at it. But I think it's because you have to hold all the cards and I get confused. But I feel like seeing it out on display is kind of helpful because you already know everything you have. And before we go to break, I've got to point out this beautiful Mahjong sweater Miss Sandra has on. You said you got it in Starkville, or your daughter got it for you?
My daughter got it for me. And
I love it.
It's great. It has all of the so symbols
cute.
on it. And
you can be bougie and play the game.
Right, right.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in studio this morning. But guys, we've got to get to our entertainment, so we'll be right back after the break.